Oh, yes. Okay. Open your eyes, let's begin. Staring at a demigod. Why can't I say? You think you caught me slipping, right? You think you caught me slipping. You think that you caught Mr. Smiles and Laughter without a cap on. Never be, bruh. Never be. We stay loyal and consistent to the brand. We stay loyal and consistent to the brand, bruh. Mis huellas, que Dios te bendiga. Respira. Welcome. And if you're new to the channel, you just found out the biggest thing about this here channel. We say welcome a lot. Welcome back to everyone that's been here before, and welcome to everyone that is new here. I am Mr. Smiles and Laughter himself. Kamva, Lundi, Ntutuka, and we are back at it with another episode of me doing me and my shenanigans and being loud and talking, because it is all that I do. Today we're going to talk about music, or rather we're going to talk about certain feelings and certain thoughts and certain reasons as to why I listen to the music that I do, and why I do what I do when it comes to music, and how and why I selected the two songs that I had on my video, on my first video that I dropped, you know. But yeah, we here speaking. Boom. Yeah, I just wanted to say that, honestly. For those of you that don't know, I had a Jay-Z song as my intro, like smile, you know, because the channel Smiles and Laughter, na 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 na, smile, na 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 na, smile. It made sense, but due to copyright issues and just all of that, I had to change the soundtrack. And now the current soundtrack is literally the first 15 seconds of a song called Breathe. Now, like I said, Breathe is from a musical. The name of the musical is called In the Heights. It is written by Lin-Manuel Miranda. You know, I chose that song. It is one of the most beautiful songs, personally, that I have listened to in a while. And in as much as In the Heights was written before Lin ever wrote Hamilton, heck, actually, he was successful from In the Heights before he started writing Hamilton. Is looking at those songs and those stories and looking at Lin's writing, Lin is a writer that he sort of translates, no, what's the English word for this? He sort of projects his experiences and his feelings and his thoughts into the stories that he tells, you know. Or even if maybe he isn't telling his own story, how he executes a particular story is very aligned to maybe his own personal views and his own personal beliefs. You know, like In the Heights tells the story of a Latino community, or Latino community, Dominican Republic, and all of that. Some of the people are from Cuba, and he himself is a descendant of an immigrant. So he tells the story of immigrants, and that's how he relates his story and his experience and his feelings in that play. Again, another of his plays, Hamilton, which he himself, Lin, always says that in as much as Hamilton is a story about one of the founding fathers of America, it is about an immigrant, and he, Lin-Manuel Miranda, is an immigrant. And everything and anything that happens in that story, he sort of links it to himself. He links it to the things that he knows. He wrote that story using hip-hop, which is a genre of music that he himself grew up loving and enjoying. Do you get what I'm trying to say? We look at how he executed the characters, the way the cast was set. He made it people of color because those are stories that he himself can relate to. We move to, you watch Moana. Moana is a story of like, if you've ever watched Disney Moana, it tells the story of this girl who has these dreams and these aspirations to one could argue her ambitions far supersede the community that she's in, you know. And if you look at when I look at all of these three things that Lynn has been involved in, they are a story of ambition. They tell stories of wanting to make it out. They tell stories of quote unquote minorities, so to speak, or rather they are executed using minorities, you know. So the point I'm trying to make is that one of the reasons Lin-Manuel Miranda is one of my favorite writers is the fact that he attaches his own personal experiences and his own personal views into what he enjoys and how he writes and how all of those things. Now, how I relate that to me is that I've come to realize that some of the music that I enjoy the most and some of the music that I'll probably use in this channel is linked to me in that way. Like, it tells to some extent my own personal feelings and my own personal thoughts. Getting to my point, Kingugu, is that I used two songs in that first video. I used Breathe. Now, Breathe is track number 2. Breathe tells the story of this girl. She was the smartest kid, academically smart, the most brilliant kid in this Dominican, in the Heights. This is the community that they live in. And she like worked super hard and she got scholarships, and then she went to Stanford, right? And now she's coming back home. And she dropped out of school. Like, she dropped out of school. Like, there's a part in the songs where she says, when I was a child, I stayed wide awake, climbed to the highest place on every fire escape, restless to climb. I saved every dollar, saved every dollar. The first to go to college, how do I tell them why? I'm coming back home with my eyes on the horizon. Me and TWB, asking Jeannie now, what'll you be? You know, then she's like, straight spine, smile for the neighbors, everything's cool, everything's fine. The standard reply, lots of tests, lots of papers, smile, okay, goodbye, na 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 na. So she's basically talking about her fears of, how do I tell these people that I love that I couldn't make it? And I relate to that. Like, I really, really genuinely relate to that. And having said that, this channel, in as much as it's about smiles and laughter, it's also about depth and me being personal. It's my own personal diary. I relate to that because to some extent I was that kid. I was that academically brilliant person who was supposed to finish his degree in record time, who was supposed to do all of those things, whose expectations, and not necessarily by my family, but I guess by the community that surrounded me at the time, was I was supposed to finish my actuarial sciences degree at Wits for 3 years and then graduate, and then, you know, but life didn't happen that way. Now, granted, a part of it was circumstances, but I need to account that a part of it was rather my actions or inactions about how or what I should have done or what I could have done when I was in certain situations. It's funny I mentioned this because, like I said, I was in therapy and we were having this chat with my therapist. And so that is one of the reasons I used that song, you know, and I just wanted to talk about that. Not necessarily the story per se, that's going to come. That is definitely going to come. But I think this is a continuation of me doing the get to know me thing without necessarily asking questions that are, hey, so what is this? What is that? The point is that anything that I do, or almost everything, actually anything and everything that I do in this channel is literally going to be about my feelings and about my personal experiences, you know? And that is one of the reasons I chose that particular song, because I relate to that so much, you know? And it's a beautiful song. It's a beautiful song. Dare I say, there's been moments where that song keeps me afloat, because the song says, just breathe, you know? And I think we need that, you know? I think we really, really need that, you know? So check out that song. So that was the first song that I used. Breathe. Written by Lin-Manuel Miranda, performed by, inserts name here because I don't know her actual name, and yeah, breathed by Lin-Manuel Miranda. That was the choice of that song. And then the second song that I chose, when I was doing, there was that part where in that video if you've never watched the video before, I recommend that you go and watch it. It's the first video. I'll probably attach the link below or something like that. It is literally the first video that I've dropped on the channel. The second song that I dropped, or rather that I used in that video, is called Paciencia y Fe, which is Spanish for patience and faith. Paciencia y Fe, ay mama, the summer's hardest day. Paciencia y Fe, Paciencia y Fe. But so again, this song is from that very same play, In the Heights. Now remember I told you, In the Heights tells the story of people who are living in a particular community. You know, they're a bunch of immigrants, or they're descendants of immigrants living in this particular section of New York called In the Heights, and people, they all have their different experiences. And I feel like I'm probably going to have a video, like, this is not going to be the first time I have a video, or this is not going to be the last time, I mean, where I have a video where I relate an experience or a feeling or whatever, you know, to this play. I will do that because, again, this is a personal channel. I'll do that with a lot of things. But the second song, like I said, is Paciencia y Fe, and this is sung or performed by the abuela of the community. So the eldest woman, she's the mom of the community. And so what happens with her is she wins the lotto. Yo guys, lotto, doesn't really matter, but she wins imali. And by her winning the money, now she has the solo performance, which is that song Paciencia y Fe, where she talks about how, unlike the rest of them, or unlike most of the people that live here who were either born in the States or they were still kids when they were here, she was born in Cuba. She lived in Cuba. She experienced Cuba. And things happened and things were tough, and she had to move to America, you know. But her mom would always say, Paciencia y Fe, have patience and faith. And now years later, so late in her life, in her being patient, in her being faithful, or having faith, she's here. She's won imali. And she's like, oh my. Now, when you listen to the entire song, I'll probably play clips of it here, is you find out and learn that she eventually, no, let me not spoil it. But I chose that song because, in as much as maybe it was not fitting to that particular video, I wanted to stay true to who I am. And even in me choosing that transition song, boom, I'm mama. The summer is hardest day. Paciencia y Fe. Paciencia y Fe. Not that it's hot, but that's okay. Mama would say, Paciencia y Fe. I can't sing, but I like to act like I can. But yeah, the way that song also carries me, because having had the experiences that I've had, and in no way am I going to sit here and pretend like they are tougher than anyone else's, or they are more tragic or more tough than anyone else's. They are my experiences and they are true to me. And I sit here and I say, they haven't been easy, you know. And I feel like I have been able to stick through that, you know, through faithfulness and patience. But those were just the subsection of the things that helped me through these years. The biggest being my friends. I'll probably have videos where I talk about my friends. But again, the aim of this video was initially about me talking about music, but it went on a tangent and I ended up speaking about something else. But I'm trying to link it to music and why I listen to certain things that I do and why I do the things that I do. But I'm also just trying to create a sense of continuity between the fact that in as much as I'm trying to have topics that I'm trying to talk about, I will stay true and authentic to who I am. You know, I am who I am. I am shaped by the things that shape me. And the point I guess I was trying to make with this video is that even with my taste in music, I link it to personal experiences. And so if you come here and you see me using a video or a song that you've never heard of before ever in your life, just know that it's still true to me. With that being said, that is the end of today's video. This has turned out longer than it was planned to be, and I went on a tangent, but that is what I do. That is the norm. Hopefully you guys will get used to that. I go on tangents a lot. Now, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and ring the notification bell for when the next video drops. Kamva signing out. This is a weird next time. This is a weird next time. Bye guys.